Hi, Edit and Nadia here. I messed up when I did this video and said that there was only two that were like sample-sized kits. There's actually three. Venom is not a full coverage, and I also said that they were all 25 count, and they're not. Body Positive by my daughter is a 14 count, which is why I think I messed up the measurements for it, because I was going off of a 25 count, which is what I usually do. And I think the Pokemon Gen 1 is an 18 count, and it's full crosses. So I usually work in half stitch. The Lord of the Rings, the Spider Lady, I call her, but the actual name is Intrusive Thoughts. She's half stitch. Venom is half stitch. The stamped cross stitch is 11 count, and it's three strands full cross. The Body Positive is 14 count full cross, and I think that's it. But I just thought I'd come back on here and let you know, because for some reason I said they were all 25 count and they're not. Thank you. Hi. I am ridiculously nervous, but welcome to my first Flosstube. If you've come over from my Facebook groups, hi. If you've just found me on the internet, I'll give you a quick introduction of who I am. My name is Nadia. I have 3 kids. I run 3 Facebook groups. One's for my Etsy, two of them are for diamond painting. But I would like to start sharing people. No, I don't want to share people. I want to share my love for cross stitch. So I have been cross stitching for 4 years. Yeah, for 4 years. And I started off with printed cross stitches, and then progressively grew. Well, I fell in love with full coverage cross stitches, because the pictures that people I've seen create are just amazing. I'm not really a fan of sample cross stitches, so I think two of these might be what you wouldn't call full coverage, and then the rest are. All of these I started this year. There is 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't even know how many whips I've got. 5, 6, 7. So there's 6 cross stitch ones that are counted, and then there's one stamped cross stitch kit, which is actually a licensed stamped cross stitch kit. So I'm really excited to show you that. Right. So first of all, let's have a drink of coffee, because I am so nervous. I have been waiting to do this YouTube thing for 2 years. And then a lot of things happened in my personal life that stopped it. And I also planned on opening an Etsy shop at the same time 2 years ago. And I just never got around to doing it. So now everything has calmed down, and I'm so pleased it has, because now I can finally do this, and hopefully I get better on camera. I'm terrible at editing as well, by the way. So that's going to be fun. It's currently 7 in the morning. And the reason why I'm doing it so early, and the reason why I've still got my bed hair, is because I have 3 kids, and my youngest son was supposed to go back to school today. He's not. He's on medication, and I have a feeling he's going to be off for another 2 weeks. So instead of just putting it off, I'm just gonna get it done. So I'm just gonna pick these up, because they're all I keep mine in like these plastic bags. There's no order. Like, these literally just get put away, and when I go to pick something every night, I just spin my wheel that I've got. So let's do, okay, this one. I will take them out of the Q-snap or the hoop. I think I've only got one Q-snap. Right. Let me just... It's blooming hot today. Already for 7 AM. It's the 6th of September, I think. And it's boiling. Well, I'm boiling anyway. Okay. Right. So this is the first one. This is Venom. And I will put a picture of what it's supposed to look like next to me if I'm any good at editing. Or it'll have to be like a still image. So this is what I've done so far. And I started this year. I did make notes because I use Pattern Keeper. Amazing app. But that's the only way that I can see my progress. So from now on, what I'm going to do, because I'm obviously going to be sharing it with you, is write down how many stitches I've done a week of each one. So this one is Venom. The artist is by Will Shrike. The total stitches in this one is 43,539, and I have done 5,276. So percentage wise, I am at 12.12%. I don't think I need this much fabric. I'm pretty sure I don't, because this is the corner and I think he's only going to come out to about here. I'm not quite sure why I've got so much fabric, but yeah, I can see I've marked it, so it's going to come down to here, which is actually bigger than I thought. Oh, and this is on 25 count Ada. I always prefer the pre-gridded fabric that you wash after you're finished. And this chart was by Thread Geeks. It's the only chart that I have by them. It's absolutely crazy for confetti though, that one. Like, it takes me ages to do, because I like to work in 4 little squares with that one, because if not, if I go too far down, I get lost. We get lost. Okay, this one, while I take this, can I take this out the Q-snap without hurting myself? Because this one isn't a Q-snap and I hate Q-snaps. Oh, jeebus. Oh. So this one, originally, it's just to keep the Q-snap in place. I wondered what it was. Originally, I wanted this one as diamond painting. It was something that I fell in love with when I first started diamond painting. It was an image that I fell in love with when I first started diamond painting, and Diamond Art Club had it way before I even started diamond painting, but then they discontinued it. I think it was something to do with licensing to Disney. This one is Dark Daddy. And the art is obviously by Mandy Manzano. If you're a diamond painter, you'll know exactly what this is if you like DAC. It's so this, well, the chart that I bought, I think Mandy has agreed to work with an Etsy shop which is called Creatively Crafting, and she has the license to this and other ones that were discontinued in diamond painting form. So I have seen people do like a cross stitch conversions of her work into diamond paintings, because if you're not aware, there's a lot of people that like to use cross stitch patterns and convert them into diamond paintings. So I have seen people do it that way because they can't get hold of the original Diamond Art Club diamond paintings. So I started this at the end of 2022 at Christmas, so just before this year. And it's pretty easy, this one. There's a lot of the same colour going through. Total stitches is 74,000, and I have stitched 27,302. So that gives me a percentage of 36.89%. So this is 25 count Ada again. And I really like this one. It helped me an awful lot this year. I went for an operation on my leg in February. I had a blood clot in my leg and I had an operation to get it removed. And while I was resting, this is the one that I did. Some of these I've started since February, so because I used to be a monogamous stitcher, where I would only do one at a time. But because these take so long, I gave up. And I now do loads. Well, I'm so nervous. I will calm down. I will. I'll be fine. Do you like my cup? I didn't even realise I was using this cup. Ignore it. My partner bought it for me. He's lovely. Right. This one is really cool. So I'm a big Pokemon fan. I have, let me see if I can show you. Big old tattoo of Pokemon. Psyduck is the best Pokemon ever. Oh, got to show you the Bellsprout. Bellsprout is my partner's favourite. So I started Lord Libidon has a free Pokemon generation chart, well, generations chart, and I started that one last year. Didn't like the chart. I hated it. There was something wrong with a couple of the colours, and I didn't like the colours that they charted into it. So I went onto Etsy and found another generation one for Gen 1. And the woman was called, or person, I don't know if it was a woman, Bixo Stitch, I think. That's what it, so when you get the PDF, that's what it says at the bottom of the pages is Bixo Stitch, and I can't remember if that's her or not, them. But the total stitches for this one is 144,417 stitches, and I have done 9,015 stitches, so that gives me a percentage of 6.2, and I started it this year. But I'll show you what I've done so far. This Dratini is the shiny Dratini. I didn't realise that until I started it, because the normal Dratini is supposed to be like a blue similar to in here. So I'm not sure if this chart, because I didn't actually look at it properly because they're all squished together. There's 151 Pokemon in Gen 1, and they're all really squished together on this chart, but I don't know if I can show you how big it is. This is how big the, can I stand up? I'm 5'3", let me see. Nope, that's zooming in. Let me get my chair out of the way. So you can just, that's how long it is. But I can't wait to do this. Oh, sugar.
chair on the fabric. They're all 25 count Ada. Again, same gridded fabric because that's just what I like to work on. I'm not doing the background though. One is my stamped, if I can get the frame off. Oh, who have done this frame up? Obviously me, but jeebus. Oh, I'm gonna have to get pliers. Save your fingers. Use pliers. I can't get it off. I think I know this because I think I actually done it up with pliers in the first place because I bought these hoops from Etsy, like a set, and they're awful. They're not tight enough. Alright, so this is the stamped kit that I have. I do really love stamped kits. I love to take them places with me. Ow, my finger. I like taking them. I think I took a stamped kit to the hospital when I was waiting for my leg operation because you're sitting about waiting for hours. I didn't take this one. It was a teeny weeny little unlicensed stamp kit of a teddy bear in the rain. I don't think I even finished it. But Aura Lower are, as far as I'm aware, the first company to have licensed stamped kits. So if you've ever wanted to try a stamped kit for something where you can just shut your brain off and not count or not look at pattern keeper, and because it takes a lot of concentration to cross stitch sometimes. Well, it does because I make mistakes all the time. If you're just looking for something that you can just sit and stitch, stamped kits are amazing, but they've always been unlicensed kits, so I'm really excited for this one. And I will have to put the picture beside it because you won't see what the hell it is. It's they all look like this, stamped kits. They all come obviously with it on, and they can look a bit funky, but this is what I've done. So I've done the top, started in the top left corner, and I call this one Bird Lady. In my book it's called Bird Lady. It's a woman with butterflies, I think, and a bird. Yeah, so there is a bird here. I'm really sorry, but I can't remember the artist. I don't think it's on here either. Oh, here we go. So that's what the kit will look like once it's finished. And the best part about cross-stitched kits is it comes with all of the thread, usually a needle, so you don't have to buy anything else. So when you think about it, these are actually really good value for money as well, because these ones from Aura Lower are more expensive than an average stamped kit that you'd find online, but you're paying for the licensing and you get the thread, because some of these ones down here, I think we all know that thread costs a fortune. I use DMC thread. Most of the, no, I don't, that's a lie. I use CXC thread because DMC thread is expensive, and where I am in the UK it's difficult for me to find it, and if I order it online it's a joke. A lot of these kits have got over 100 colours, so it gets expensive, but she's beautiful. I don't know why you got the red dot from the camera, but she is beautiful, and I am up here, so I'm excited to get to this flower here. I don't know whether I'm going to go across or whether I'm just going to go to this area and then maybe go across a bit, but we'll see. I need to do a bit more on this, I really do. But I can't give you percentages or anything for that one because it's stamped. Oh, we're getting there. I've got 3 left. So this one is what you would call a sampler, and this one is from my Etsy shop, but the artist is the lovely Christina, which is my daughter. So just give you a quick background of the Etsy shop if you haven't come over from Facebook. I planned YouTube 2 years ago, I planned to do the Etsy shop alongside it with diamond painting related stuff. Didn't happen. And then I am a massive fan, obviously, of my daughter's artwork, and I said to her, you know, we really need to get your artwork out there. And so I decided to chart them, because I've charted other things before I started selling them. I knew how to chart cross-stitch patterns. So I started charting her work, and that's where the name for the shop and the YouTube channel comes in, is Dark Cross Stitch, which isn't, well, Dark X Stitch, but it's meant to be Dark Cross Stitch, because that shop was going to be just for her artwork, and then I was going to do a separate shop for all the diamond painting related stuff. But when it came to it, I just decided to just stick them all together, because I thought, I'm not that smart, and it's it's going to be too confusing having 2 shops, and Etsy is a pain in the butt. So this one is body positive. Now I have messed this up. I have used too small fabric for the count that I'm doing. I calculated it wrong. I'm terrible at maths, so this is not going to fit, but I'm still going to carry on with it anyway, because I think I can do some sort of a thing where it looks like it's wrapped around the frame, if that makes sense. And I'm using, what is that stuff called? It's a DMC floss that's metallic. I want to say it's like, don't think it's not variegated floss. It's honestly, I'm not very good at all the other different types of floss. All I know is normal floss. But I found this DMC like metallic. You're not gonna be able to see it, are you? It's one of them flosses that changes colour as you go. If anybody knows the name of it, just let me know, and then I'll be able to use it from now on. But this is where I'm starting from the bottom. So let me see if I can get this done right. Let me stand up for you. Alright, so this is the woman's foot, and then this is her leg and her thigh, and then you've got the other leg that's going all the way around. Her leg is supposed to bend and come back. I have obviously not picked a wide enough fabric, and I think it will look okay as long as her top half comes through okay. It'll be alright, because obviously drop my thing, but her body is going to come up here, and there's no head on the image anyway. I'll put it side by side, but I'm really hoping I'm probably going to miss a lot of the foot, and then it will go back round to there. But this one has 3,253. I'll put it against my top because it's, or dress because it's black. So this one has 3,253 stitches, and I have stitched 1,196, giving me a total of 36.77%. So I'm almost there to halfway. Almost. I don't know if I can show you the thread. There we go. It's all different colours as you stitch, and it's a metallic, but it is a pain in the butt to stitch with. I think that's why it's taken me so long. I've made some thread wax myself to use, that is a godsend. If it didn't have the thread wax, I wouldn't be able to do it. And I'm actually running out of thread, so I need to figure out what the heck this stuff is and order some more. So the second non-full coverage is also by my daughter. The chart on Etsy is different to the one I've got because I wasn't happy with how this one came out. So I recharted it before I put it onto Etsy. Actually, no, that's a lie. I did have it on here and a lady bought it, and I then had to send I decided to send her the new PDF because I just really wasn't happy with this one. I'll still finish it, but if I'm selling it, then I want it to be better. So this, I'll leave this one in the Q-snap. It's not a Q-snap, it's a hoop. I'll leave this one in the hoop because it's quite small. Is it going to focus? Yes. So again, this is on the same fabric, 25 count. They're all 25 count, by the way. Let me just get my percentage. So this one is obviously by my daughter. Total stitches I have done 16,638, and no, that's not what I've done, sorry, that's how many's in the chart, 16,638, and I have done 3,242. So that gives me a percentage of 19.49%, and I will obviously put the picture of the original next to it. I just love her artwork. I think it's so cool. It's not for everybody, but art is subjective, and I like all different types of art. You can probably tell from the different cross-stitch patterns, but I like all art. There's nothing I don't like. If I see a picture and I think that's nice, then I'll do it. It doesn't matter if it's dark, it doesn't matter if it's cartoonish, it doesn't matter if it looks babyish. I like rude art, kiddified art, like, I don't even know how to explain it, but I just like everything. Now this one is the biggest cross stitch I have ever done, and probably may ever do. I don't know, don't say that, because I probably will end up deciding to pick something that's giant again. So I started this one on my 33rd birthday, which was this May, just gone, as like a birthday treat to myself, because I'd had this chart for a good 6 months, really wanted to do it, but also wanted like a goal. So my goal for this chart is to finish it by the time I'm 40. That gives me 7 years, and I'm going to make sure I do it. I am going to do it. That is my goal. I'm going to have to stand up and show you how big this is first before I show you the the teeny amount that I've done. Right. It's huge. It is huge. Look at it. It's a big boy. It's a big boy. Right. So, what way around are we? Okay. So this cross stitch pattern is Lord of the Rings. It's by somebody on Etsy. I thought they were called Cross Stitch MP, but on the chart it says Cross Stitch V. I know the man's name is Victor because he's messaged me through the Etsy app and obviously leaves his name at the bottom, so I know his name is Victor, but I want to say his shop name is Cross Stitch MP. I don't know why on the chart it says Cross Stitch V, unless I'm just getting him mixed up with another seller. So the total stitches for this is 656,343. I have done 2,249 since May, so that gives me a 0.34% progress. And this is all I have done. I'm gonna stand behind it. That is upside down. Okay. So I am working in the top left. And I think, yeah, I don't know if this is coming through backwards. Okay. I will put a picture up of the original one, like the actual image, but I'm working in a lot of sky, basically. I think this part here is the eye. Is it the eye? I'll have to look at the chart again. I think. But this chart is massive. I've been listening to the audiobooks of Lord of the Rings while I do it, just because I've never listened to them and I always kept saying that I was going to. So I'm gonna try and get through them, but they'll probably be dead by the time I finish just this bit here. And then I've got all of that to do. So yeah, they're all my whips. The plan, once things are back to normal with my family life, is to put a video every week. So I'll record it like I am now, a few days before, edit over the edit over the weekend, ready for a Monday upload, because my plan is to do one cross stitch video a week and one diamond painting video a week. So they'll both come out on the same day, which should be Mondays, if I've planned everything right, because I've had to make sure that I've got time for everything with the Etsy shop, with my family, with this now involved as well. How I cross stitch is, I do it at night time, so every night I use a spin the wheel app and I'll pick whatever, obviously that's given me, and then I won't do that one again that week. If it gets picked again, I'll just spin, because I've already worked on that one. So I try and touch all of my projects once a week. So I might stop doing that though and just carry on with whatever it has for me, because then some will get more work than others, but at the same time it'll also be better than doing like 150 stitches a week on each, because if not, I'm going to be here forever. I will do some of this every week though. I have to. If I want to get this giant thing finished, I'm going to have to do some sort of plan. And I think that is it. Thank you so much if you've stayed the whole way through. I am a total mess. I am sweating. The nerves are slowly going. Slowly. Maybe not. Thank you. And if you enjoyed this, I will see you next time. Bye bye.